That's all I got. Hello, welcome. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna hold on a second. I gotta do something really quick. I have a heater on and it's just getting warm in here. There we go. That's off. Plug back in my earbuds or my professional 64 audio in-ear monitors, which I love. Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome to another live stream. It's our once a week chance to hang. My name's John Skippy Limcool. Nice to see you. Welcome. I don't have a big sale going this week. We're working towards Black Friday, so I'm going to make you guys wait. Save your money. You're going to want to save your money. Some kind of cool stuff's happening, so save your pennies. But I do have a couple cool plugins to show you. I can, if there's time after showing these plugins, I can spend some time answering your questions. I can show you some of the work on there's actually 2 libraries in the works for Black Friday. So I'm horrible at keeping secrets. You can ask my ex-wife and my daughter. They laugh at me because I just can't. I'm horrible at secrets. And so I should not be the mouthpiece of my company because I'd like to just tell you guys everything I'm working on. But there's times where I've learned it's best not to do that. So I am still in Portland, Oregon. I decided, in fact, here, I could share a little. You want to have a little minute of sharing? This plugin I'm showing you, by the way, that we started with, this is String Murmurations from Crow Hill Company, the Crow Hill Company. They are a company that is new, spearheaded by Christian Henson. He is heading this from Scotland, from Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland, where he lived the whole time he was working with Spitfire Audio as well. So let's see if I can go like this and tell this to be up to date. So my house here in Portland, I bought it in 2017, and it was this is a house that was put together. Apparently, it was really run down at one point. It was built in the 80s. They converted it super quickly, like so quickly that here is a picture of this is the quality of the paint job in this house that I live in. They painted so quickly that they kept the toilet lid on and painted around it. That's how bad the quality of everything in this house is. It's shockingly embarrassing. And so I'm going to be renting my house starting in the spring. I'm moving to Idaho to be closer to my family, make that kind of like the center where I'm going to be able to travel more, do things. I can't wait for that to happen. But I decided before I move, I need to invest every penny I have and then some into updating things in my house. And so let's see if I can find a before picture of my upstairs bathroom. I just got done remodeling the upstairs bathroom and it came out so nice. But let me show you a before. This is what my bathroom looked like before upstairs, right? And there's no door into the bathtub for the pumps and stuff like that. The shower the shower door had pulled the whole shower away. So I had to put a shower curtain inside the shower to take showers. It was just really bad. And so if I'm going to rent my house, it can't look like that. There's just no way you can rent a house like that and ask for anything more than like bargain basement. So this is where I'm at with my upstairs. I have a walk-in shower. I replaced the bathtub with a really cool bathtub. Whole different vibe. Tile on the floor. Tiled the walls, did really cool stuff with the detail up here in the tiling and stuff like that. It's so nice. So that's what I've been working on. And that's my sister down in the corner. Hi, Dana. She just, sweetheart, love her to death. So I've been working on my house, getting it to where in the spring I can rent it to somebody and not feel concerned about being in Idaho. We found that they'd use old pipes that were like, there's like water stains downstairs on the ceiling from the number of times that the pipes have broke. So I'm like, I want to fix this all up before I move so I don't have to worry about it when I'm thousands of miles away. So that's what I'm doing. So that's been a bit of energy that I've been working on, and I'm really happy with everything. Hello to you guys. Welcome, everybody. So we're doing a live stream. We do this every week. It's just a family hang. We've been doing this for years at this point, right? I can get this maybe a little bit brighter. But anyway, we have a couple plugins to show you guys, and I can show you some of the work I'm doing on one of the libraries coming for the Black Friday planning event that we've got going on. We got some really cool stuff happening there. Let's start with this. This is called String Murmurations. And I said, this is from the Crow Hill Company. And I have unified it already. So what I was playing was actually a Unify patch using string. I made 8 bonus patches in this library to give you even more that you can do with this library. String Murmurations looks like this. It's got a timbre knob, which is a type of a filtering. Expression is volume. It's got a couple different effects. You hit here to go to the program editor. If you're familiar with Labs, this looks very similar in a way to Labs in that you have a category. In Labs, it's a library. Here, each one of these you could consider a separate library because they've put patches. So I don't know the relationship between Christian Henson, Spitfire Audio, and the Crow Hill Company and how much they share. I do know some people that he'd worked with at Spitfire came with him to Crow Hill, so I don't know any of that stuff, but I see a lot of similarities with some of the other things I've seen from Spitfire Audio in the past is all I'm saying. But they have 4 different categories of these really interesting string. This is not a string library. Do not look at buying this if you're looking for like a really nice string library to give you all the different things that an orchestra can do or something like that. That was not the goal of it. Christian has said that in the videos I've seen from him. I invited him to be on the live stream today. He's busy right now, so he can't. But maybe another time he will. But this is a really interesting plugin in that, let's do this. Let's go up to the, let's just call up one of these. That's just, all of these up here are just basically initialized simple patches. So let's go to the very top, to the gestures to Launchpad. What these are is if you play a chord, I'm going to play just a minor chord. And I'm holding down that chord. But you hear all this as the tagline for the plugin, strings that won't behave. And that is really true. They don't behave. They're playing additional parts. And as long as you play the right chords, and they have this key shift so that if I'm going to go to the key of G, you can change this to G, and then now it will play in the right intervals for G. But if you play a G chord while you're on the C shift, you might get notes that you don't want. It's playing audio files. They decided not to make it tempo locked. So it's not playing anything. There's no tempo information here to tell you what's going on. So they kept tempo out of this. So you're going to end up with these string parts that kind of like randomly are added to what you want. And they have other there's much to show you. This is actually a very deep library in some senses because they came up with, when you call up Broken Hearts and you play, they do have different strings, But you hear the volume coming up, the swells. These parts that are played that I'm not playing. My hands are off the keys and it's playing these parts. Right? It's just incredible as far as that goes. So I think you're going to hear this a lot because people love things where things are done for them automatically. And they also love things where it sounds more complicated than they are musically. This will get you there in spades. You call up something like Soaring Symphony and you play a C chord. And you get all of this beautiful stuff. Right? Like there I played a little bit different chord. You hear some notes that aren't really working. I've worked for years with Korg on Karma. And in Karma, it's actually MIDI based and it's shifting the notes based on what chord you're playing, what modality it can tell that you're in. This can't do that because these are audio performances that they recorded. They recorded these strings in Prague at a really beautiful studio that sounds really nice. So the quality is wonderful. Yeah, like Dave is saying, for someone who loves love and peace, you keep on shooting from a head, does neither. Oh, okay. Oh. Dave, that's not very nice. We're all human and I don't think he's doing that. This is a cool library. There's nothing wrong with this library. It's a different take on working with samples that nobody's done this before. So I don't think that's very nice to say. But anyway, let me continue. Please base this plugin. There's a lot of people behind Crow Hill besides Christian. So if you've got an issue with Christian, it's a lot of people involved in this. It's not just Christian doing his thing. So there's different categories. There's these sorts of but again, what it's doing is in audio. Like I said, this is not a library for everyone. It's a library that for a lot of people, you'll sit and you'll play it, and it's going to do something you don't expect and go, oh, I can't use this. So if you're trying to have something where you have control over what it's going to do, these really don't behave. That's for true. Now, if you go to some of these other things, blurs are things where instead of playing chords and having these parts come in and so forth, it's actually doing string runs and so forth. So the articulations are not based on velocity. They do have, when you come to some of these like Launchpad, there is a velocity switch, which I could not assign. I've assigned real-time controls to all of the different parameters in the plugin. There's not a parameter for velocity. And velocity is one of these things that when you turn this on, now it works where when you play soft, it doesn't do anything. And there's a little arrow indicator here to show you. And then when you hit at a certain velocity, you go above the trigger point where you get these really cool things. Right? So yeah, you can do it that way. There's very limited controls for changing the sound up. They still did some pretty cool things. Let's continue to show you the plugin. Blurs, like I said, instead of velocity and stuff, now you have a speed control for these lines. If you need things. Oh, good, Jeffrey. That's cool. Jeffrey said he's having a good time with the unified library. And once you get under the hood, there's all these really cool. I mean, it goes on and on. It's not just one thing. Also, it's important to make sure you use. They do have these controls for bringing out the bark in the strings so you can get. Right? Stuff like that to go. On top of this, as I said, there's quite a few of these. The constellations is where it gets interesting. This is where an effect that is grayed out in the other patches will show up in these patches, I thought. Constellations, lone skies. Come on, show me, show me. Yes, this is where grains shows up. Playing one note. It's a really cool effect as far as that goes. And if you go over here to the unified library for the constellations, I do have grains. So you can do some really cool things as far as that goes. Again, if you just need something really interesting in your pieces that has some like really unique qualities to it, it's a cool library for that. It's a cool plugin for that kind of thing. One last thing to show you, if we call this up, if you get down here to the Crow Hill selects, these things that say gestures have gestures. These things that don't say gestures are just different string pads with different sonic capabilities, qualities, etc. to work with. So these don't take off on you. And are very nice. I liked a lot of these. Some of the more creative patch names I've found, you know. And then in the unified library that I did for Unify, you use the VST2 version, which means when you go to the plugins and you go down here to string murmurations, which is a funny big name, string murmurations, you want to see the VST version plugin. There's a link in the README if that gets confusing, if you get a plugin error message. I made some bonus patches at the very end of the list. There's 8 bonus patches. When you put a rhythmic pulse on these, that is a really cool way to force it to seem like it has rhythm in it, even though the phrases and so forth are not. Because now when I play it, they can go all over the place. And you kind of don't care. And it can even be wrong notes. It's just kind of like, okay. Now, if you want to fix the wrong notes, I didn't on this one. But you can go to one of these patches. Since this is in the first space for the first layer, you could go and say copy macro definitions of, let's see, I thought I set these up. Oh, brother. Here we go. Since it selects, they don't have the ability to have the shift or the key thing on. So for some of them, it doesn't work. I was losing one. But if you go here and instead of shift speed, look for the let's see, not the constellations, but the gestures. Yeah, key shift. That's right. All right. So if you copy these macro definitions, and then I go back to the BPM pulsar, and I had two versions of pulsar. And here we could paste this. So now you have the key shift, so it can change the key when you're working with the plugin. Now you could change the key shift to, oh, it's going to do that for me. Okay, great. Wait, I'm using normal here, so it's not going to let you have shifting of the key. Oh, you know what? Normal is normal. Version 2 is the one which has, I did two versions. Version 1, it just sits there, right? So if you call up version 1 of this, it's just, whatever you play, because it's playing just the normal string patch, that's the one where it just sits and it doesn't do anything at all. Let's turn it down just a little bit. If you go to the version 2, this is the one where it's playing keys. So in this case, oh, went too far. So for this one here, you would need to use a key shift. So you'd go over here and copy, and then as I did, paste. And since string murmurations is in the first, now I have the key shift up there. And as I change this, let's see, 67. Do I have this set to a nod? Yeah, I didn't get that synchronized. Let's see, call this up and move Unify's controls just a little bit. You can see when I move key shift, it's going to change the key. So if I'm going to be in A flat, I'd be there. And then if I'm going to go over here, key shift, and find B flat for my B flat chord. And then C minor would be E flat major. So you'd want to bring this to, so you have to start doing some math and stuff like that for, remember there's a major and then there's a relative minor. So if you're in the key of C minor, the major of that is E flat. So which means you go from E flat to C minor and be all right. If I go to B flat, it actually worked. So you can use this key shift and automate this to make sure that it's basically what it's doing is it's got a library of phrases with the notation right for based on what chord you're playing. That's why it's a huge amount of work that they did to make this do what it does, because it's got the layer that you're playing live, and then there's another layer underneath it that is changing based on what notes you're playing and what shift it's set to. So each one of these shift settings gives it a whole different set of samples across the keyboard for what each section, the cellos, violas, violins, and violas will play. So if I'm, right, that's what makes it so complex, and that's why it's $149, is because it's not just playing static samples. It's playing samples, and it's going to have to look at what you're playing and what that shift setting is, because it doesn't have chord recognition. That's where Karma and that type of technology was really cool because it would analyze what you were playing. And because of the way that we designed the GEs inside of the Oasis and the Chronos and the Chord Karma, it would be able to shift the intervals in real time while you're playing it. This can't do that. So you have to tell it by shifting the actual key to tell it what key you want it to be in based on what chord you're going to play. So I put that into the interface for the unified versions of the libraries for when you do that kind of stuff. But again, some of these, like this one here, gesturizing in stereo, this is where it's doing, I'll just play a chord. Let's play it. I'm going to play D minor because I'm pretty safe there. Just left on the rat. And they do something different on the right. Right? So this is kind of fun because if you turn off the strings, you turn off the kick and snare. This is just Unify stuff with wave sequencing. And there's one, check this out. Dominoes normally just does this. If you turn it off, it just goes like Then I have a little pump house on it. Goes without it. It just does that and stops. So I added a MIDI box. Don't know if you know this, but if you go into the Unify standard library, and if you go to this folder called single drum parts, it's in the MIDI files folder right here, single drum parts. There is this one that says crash on one, wait for majors. And what that does is it just one note on, and unfortunately it was C sharp. So if you're gonna actually make this work, you have to offset it -1. But then I double timed it. So now it's only every 2 measures it will play. So now it re-triggers every 2 measures. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, am I still bypassed? Okay. Turn it on, and now when I play 2, 3, repeat it. Then to give it a little bit more rhythm, pump house. Right? And then I combine that with another wave sequence patch from Unify. It has piano. And I modified things a little bit to get to mix the way that I wanted. So those two together then we can add the kick. You can take the snare if you want. And then add murmurations. So just different ways of playing with all these different things. Strange look. This is another one using those gestures. But that rhythm, it kind of lets whatever it does as far as notes still work. And this is one of those where if you go to the save, you'll notice I have a power tip here that you can use this as a template. Open up string murmurations. Try another thing. Go to Broken Hearts. Again, now it doesn't matter. I've defined a tempo from other things. So murmurations can just kind of do its thing in the background and it becomes something you can use Okay. The last category of sounds I want to just point out is there's a lot of constellations, and that's because this is using strings and then using the grains, using the reverb, and there's a really nice shimmer reverb here that's called glisten, which gives it a really nice. So you can combine that with grains. The other thing that's cool with this that they added is room tone, which is actually just a room ambient noise. Hear that? It just allows it to sound more like not just a sample library or samples playing, because you can give it a room ambience as well, which is really nice. So there's some smart ideas here. Phase inversion, stereo left and right reversal if you want. There's an ability to widen it, so forth like that. 3 different mic settings that you can play with so you can get the sound to be... Again, I'm heavily processing, so let's bring this down. You know, so if you go through the gestures by themselves, or the constellations, there's all sorts of really nice different vibes, so forth. There's a ton of these. Just all of a sudden something. So you don't know what you're gonna get. We're just gonna. A lot of these are best with just one note. Some of these, they click on the beginning. I'm going to actually email them and let them know they need to look on the envelopes of some of these patches. I should have a little bit of an envelope. Anyway, it's a cool plugin. Does some cool things. Just wanted to make it aware to you guys. There's a typo in the unified patch for Launchpad. Oh, I do? Launchpad. Uh-oh. Let's see here. That's in one of the gestures. I have launch. It's not Launchpad. Is it Launchpad? No, it's Launchpad. I don't think I'm spelled wrong. Oh, L-A. I'm missing an A. Oops. I have launch. Okay, good catch. Thank you. Yes, Philip is right. I have a spelling error right there. Sorry. My apologies. All right. So it's a cool library. If you want more information, it's the Crow Hill Company right here. They have Vault, which is a free piano you can get as well when you're here. And then the strings that won't behave, more information, etc. is here. Really cool. I like Christian. I met him once many years ago at a NAMM show when we talked. He actually gave us permission to use inside of the standard library. There's a really nice piano that was in Piano Book, and I talked to the guys that actually recorded the piano, but they wanted permission from Christian because it was on Piano Book. And so I asked Christian, and so the Church Steinway. This is originally from Piano Book. So I worked with Christian and he gave permission for us to include it in Unify, and so here it is. Right, so that's there. The other thing to show you guys that's kind of cool is I'm a big fan of Cableguys. I actually worked on one of their synthesizers called Cable. Let's see, where do we want to show you this? Maybe there's so many fun ways to use this. Let's use this with MegaMagic Guitars 3 because this can get, oh, let me play this demo one more time so I can show you what I did for murmurations. It's a strange pads, strange look. So I used in this demo piece, just to show you what I did, I used Unify's the unified library to play this BPM pad, which has the pulsing on it. I used the BPM pluck. What was the name of it? Diamonds Dancing from MegaMagic Harp. And then Chillax is from, this is from the Lo-Fi from Matthias Sauer that we released. And I separated it to where I had the bass on one layer and then the drums on a separate pass to include. And so when I'm just gonna play this so you can hear it. It starts with just the string pad by itself. I want to kind of set that up. I just did this before the live stream so we can. So it's got that motion in it. Curve. Yes, I worked on Curve. I'm horrible with names. Curve 2, actually. So this kind of set you into the mood, right? When you're doing a song, you typically would do like something simple and then build on that. Drums are kind of lazy, but it's kind of the vibe of this thing. So you get the idea, right? Then who knows where it goes from there. Add some additional parts, you know, add some vocal samples on top of that. That's basically a chill song right there, you know, in my mother-in-law's house. Okay. Hi, Mark. And on your mother's, on an iPad. Cool. One tip to show you for the harp part, I broke up the parts where I played chords and I used a quantize feature inside of Logic that's really cool. If I set this back to 0, when we play at 17, it's downbeat. But if you quantize a part, and then I just broke it out from the region because I didn't want the rest of it to do this, but just for that note, then you go to Flam and you bring this up. You're gonna be, look at how it's like, here, let's make it really exaggerated. Let's make it 125 now. Hear that gliss? Because harps and guitars, you can't play all the strings at once unless it's really certain type of fingering techniques and so forth. So you want to have a little bit of that for any time that you're like, even right there, for those where those notes are, I could go like this and select this and go Command T. And then you can go over here and say Command T, and I'm going to say keep so it doesn't split or anything. And then go to these notes, quantize them. And then now I could bring up the flam to be into the 50s or 60s so I can hear it. So 17. Here, right there. All right, you can go away. Thank you. So if you spend a little bit of time on the production and either play it where you break it, I play like a piano player, so I'm gonna just play all the parts because all my hands are going down at once. But you can go back after the fact, find these tools in your DAW. Most DAWs have these abilities to do things like this. I don't want quick help. Bye-bye. Thank you. So this way I can set up the Q flam to flam the parts, because if I set this back at 0, check out the difference. So 17. Here I like, it goes by, you don't even really, it sounds like a piano. But if you set this into the 60s, watch this. Just a little brilliant. Those things are the little details in production you want to spend some time on to make a big difference. And if I was to really continue working on this, you'd add transitions, which we could do a whole live stream at some point just talking about how important transitions are, getting things that are doing things to lead you into what's next, you know? We're not going to do that today. But anyway, that's a demo using MegaMagic Harp and MegaMagic Unify, and then the string murmurations with the unified library. Okay. Yeah. To invent patch names. I think that exists. You can find ways of making patch names if you want to do that. That's funny. I personally like to just make them when I'm making the patches, because you know what's fun is actually to like make a patch name and then make a patch to match the patch name. That's a fun challenge. Maybe we'll do that at the end. We'll say, okay, give me some ideas for, start thinking about names. Don't type them yet. You guys will start typing once I'm talking about this. But if we get to the programming section, maybe we'll do something like that. All right, let me show you another really interesting plugin that has come out. Let's call up Unify. Hello, Unify. Nice to see you. By the way, if you do need inspiring patches, please come to my website, pluginguru.com. I have that right here. We have 2 days. Today and tomorrow are the final days for the Unlight to be edit special price. Actually, you know what? I think the Unlight might be, I think it's supposed to, I think I might have messed up. I think it's Pigments. I think this is the library that's on sale. Oh, no, Pigments is over. It's Unlight. Yeah, it's Unlight that is, I was right. So Unlight has just a couple more days at $23 for scary, spooky patches. It's really a cool library. Fred Nongot from the Paris, France region created this library. That's down right here, the Unlight. And these are, oh wait, I gotta make sure I'm on the right track over here, which I'm not. Yeah, there we go. Whole different vibe. And there's really cool artwork for every patch. I know we're past Halloween, so now you're making creepy sounds for Christmas, but you know, maybe you need to make creepy sounds for Christmas, right? Do I have Unify running? That's funny. Let me see. Oh, I have that layered, so it's playing. Okay. So anyway, this is all sorts of really, really cool textures. Right? So Sunday night, it goes from $23 library to $39. So if you wish to save some money and get some spooky patches to inspire and scare your loved ones, that's a place I can definitely recommend you take a look. All right. So getting back to the rest of our show, after that little brief promotion intermission, let's call up something like a, let's slow this down. That's maybe like 80 beats per minute. So Cableguys is a really interesting company. They're a small handful of people in Europe. I've worked with them for a number of years. They do have, as someone here mentioned, if we mute this stuff so we're more initialized, Curve. We're now at version Curve 2, which is a very interesting synthesizer. We'll do a whole little library here, a little demo. I don't know where my patches are anymore. I believe I could search for them to find them. I haven't played with this interface in a little while. Oh, I'm on page 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Plugin Guru. That's me. So there's some patches I did inside of this plugin. It's very, very fun. They're good guys. I like them a lot. So they've been working for a while on this thing called shaperbox, which is taking some of that curve. You saw all the enveloping and so forth. It's very similar to Infiltrator in a way. So let's call up right here, shaperbox. Shaperbox. They're at version 3 now, which is really exciting. And they recently added a new effect called Reverb Shaper. And Reverb Shaper is we can do this stuff in Unify pretty easily, but it's cool to have it as a plugin, and then to have it in this universe with all these other effects is really, really powerful. It's basically reverb with LFO tool after it, with more. There's far more that it's doing, because they have send controlled modulation. They've got decay. They've got the ability to have it triggered in some unique ways. So smartly, they decided when they did this to basically base it on convolution reverb. So there's all sorts of really cool, interesting things for the types of reverbs, anywhere from weird stuff right? And you can actually bring the decay to even shorter and then gate it. But let's do this. Let's make it a nice long reverb, like right? Well, here is the curve for the volume. And if you go over here and set to something like this, and then instead of being 1 bar, let's speed it up. And then we can change the reverb. Now, if you get to these different presets, they have a really cool thing called clear tails, because if you want, you can set the decay to be even longer, right? So now it's getting kind of muddy. The clear tails, whenever it's hitting a 0 point, it actually refreshes the reverb buffer. So it's no longer muddy, which is really cool. So you can make things that are right. Then they have other controls. Let's see, if we hit here, we can turn on the envelope. And I think there's controls over here for the threshold. On top of this, there's frequency. So if you want this only to be in a certain frequency range, you have controls here, which is really cool. And then, because it's in shaperbox, that means that this is one of as many tools as you want to put into a series of a chain. So we can put a crush after this. Let's choose some sort of a cool crush. Right? Then let's go envelope this. Right? And then we could go over here, we could add like flanging. And you start to see the power of this because you can keep adding as many things as you want. Let's say, let's put time after this. So you can warp it out. If you go to the presets, you can go to their, let's see if I go here to click here, you can see the presets. They have a really cool interface where they show you what effects were used in the patch. So you can see things that were going on. They have showcase, they have a community that you can sync. If you hit the little update, it'll contact the server. It will add additional patches that are made. And these get into some really crazy, cool patches. I mean, that sounds incredible. So you can see you've got the ability to have all these different timing and things happening. So reverb shaper is now in the tools. So if I wanted to, I could add reverb after this. Right? So it can go into the ecosystem with everything else. Information on this is available at Cableguys.com. They also have a Black Friday thing started up already where you can get shaperbox with all of these, including reverb shaper for $89, or reverb shaper by itself is just $39. So it's not a huge investment for a very powerful tool that does some cool things. So let's see. Hey, Russell, welcome. Yeah, the new reverb is very nice. They did a nice job. On top of everything else, one thing that's also cool to point out, let's do this. It's saying new. When you go to the reverb, you actually have the ability on, I think it's here, or is it under the settings? I think it's, where's it at? Somewhere in here, you have the ability to import your own, let's see, convolution presets. Where is it at? Somewhere in here, there's an option to import your own. I'm not sure where it is on, because I haven't done it myself yet, but you can import your own convolution. I was going to actually try to do that in the live stream. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, it's not there. I was going to have it point to the plugin guru convolution presets, but I'm not sure where it is. Anyway, it's very, let's see here. I'm not going to try to learn. I learned the basics of the plugin before the live stream, but I didn't get everything into the knowledge tank. So I'm not exactly sure where that's at, but you do have the ability to import your own convolution presets somewhere in here. And it's very powerful to let you do that, of course, because now you can use your own special convolution presets that you've gotten from all over the place inside of it. So it's very, very powerful. Sounds great. It's a nice reverb. And again, convolution reverb bass means it can change to all sorts of Why are you not changing on me? I don't have any of the reverb playing, do I? Oh, I do. There we go. Make sure I mute these guys so we don't hear them. So it's just convolution. There we go. Show under noise, main menu, new, under the noise. Main menu, show user noise. Oh, let's see here. Show user noise folder. There you go. Okay, open the folder. So you would have this folder. I see. Place your noises here. Okay, so let's try this. So if you go to Unify, and you go here to the impulse responses, I have a whole bunch of different impulse responses, but the standard library ones are actually inside of the standard library folder. So it goes libraries, Unify standard library, impulse responses. Let's put the noise verbs because these are the fun, weird ones. So let's go like this. They're all wave based. So we can just copy these here. Let's get this to work. Thank you guys for helping. So let's say new. And yes, this reverb works great on vocals, all sorts of things, of course. So now when I click here and I go to here, now I'll need to see the user presets, right? And how do I see that? How do I see? Store LFO. Where do I get to my custom waves, noises? Oh, I probably got to reload the plugin. That's what it is. So let's make this go away. Shaperbox. Oh, wait. I think I did the there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, no reverb. Now I'm going to call up shaperbox. Don't call up kilohertz transient shaper. And we go to reverb. Now, let's see. Nope, I don't see. Where do I get to user? Guys, how do I find user? Actually, it should be show user reverb folder. Let's see. Where would we find noises? Probably like here, show user noise folder. Oh, wait, that's what it is. It's not noises. I have to put that into, so I need to show Okay, we're doing this together, all together now. Let's go open this folder, and we want to show the reverb folder. So there's a reverb folder. Open folder. It's the same. Oh, wait, here we go. So take all of these and let's just move them over here to impulse responses. Now we go back here and let's reload shaperbox. So we'll make it go away. And then shaperbox. We're going to get this to work. I know it. All right, reverb. There we go. User shows up. Yay, it works. So now, all your weird wave samples that you've put in here, there's more. I could go, there's more. We could go to the big, I did all these band hits and stuff like that, so. Right, so it's orchestra had band hit, but let's put that into a pulse. So yeah, you can go crazy with all sorts of stuff like that. Yeah, so you can put your own convolution presets. Now, let's say you want to do something like this inside of Unify, because we can do all this kind of stuff already and far more actually, but because we have effect chains, right? So we could set this up on an auxiliary bus. Let's go over here and say, got a nice reverb. All you have to do is go Unify standard dynamic pump house. And to be honest with you, I think pump house snaps. In a way that shaperbox is a little, they're doing a little bit of curve buffering, so it's a little, so it can't get quite as snappy as this. We can get even more snappy if we turn off smooth. But if you go to your presets, you can go to the rhythmic type stuff, you know. We just don't have a cool interface. That's the real thing that's missing for Unify is one of these days, if anybody wants to work on user interface, contact us. It's not easy. It's huge. So you can do all sorts of stuff. And if you want to get even more creative, add other effects before or after this. It's very, very fun. So you can do noise shaper kind of things inside of Unify. It's just, it's using multiple plugins and effects instead of doing it inside of a plugin and saving a preset. So it's very convenient in shaperbox. Plus it has all the other effects and all that really, really cool stuff. So if you want something to play with, that's a really cool place. But you can do similar things inside of Unify as well. So if you yeah, so it's not something that's not possible to do, but it's just the convenience of having it as a plugin is really, really nice. Saves a lot of time for certain cases and applications if you want to do stuff like that. And putting it on vocals would be really, really cool. So yeah. Let's see. What are you guys talking about? Yeah, Art of Noise. Hey, Darren. Good to see you, man. Oh. Does anyone know what that great... the great Spitfire audio piano. Which one? Are you talking about the soft piano from like Labs? That's the most famous Spitfire audio piano that I am familiar with. And that is actually, if you say Spitfire, I believe they have a separate originals now of the felt piano by itself. course. Oh. We're playing it with MIDI box and we're playing it through Pump House Reverb. One of my favorite effects. So maybe this is what you're talking about. Right? That's the famous one. I don't know what else you might be talking about. Yeah, this one, well, there's two ways to get it. This is the Originals Felt, which you can find at Spitfire Audio's website. It's in the Originals category. Let's go to Spitfire Audio together, shall we? If you go to Discover and we go to, no, we don't want to Discover Originals. We want to Shop. And we want to go to the originals. Where are their originals? Not collaborations, not, right, here we go, originals. So these are $29 libraries. And if you go down the list, you'll find all sorts of things. There's the Intimate Grand, which is not the felt piano. But then, where is it? Right here, felt piano. Or man standing in field looking, that's the $29 version. There's also a free version that you should be aware of. If you go to the Spitfire Labs libraries, let's see, Spitfire Labs, and you say felt, you will find, oh wait, soft piano. Soft piano is a free Labs library. It's a smaller version of the one that they made into the originals. This is the one that's been downloaded 5 billion times or whatever. I think they went back and resampled that piano for the one that's in the $29 library. Now, if you own Keyscape, I should point out my favorite felt piano is the one in Keyscape, which we can get to. Let's call it up in Keyscape first, because it's a double felt grand, which is really unique. Not many libraries have that in its things. The double felt grand, it's got the felt on the hammers and they put down ribbons. There is other felt pianos. Let's play felt piano for a minute. Oh wait, that's okay. So that's still Labs. Here is the double felt grand piano. That's more what I was expecting. A little bit more, actually it's actually more controllable, because you could go over here. You can tweak. Turn down the high end if you don't want quite so much. Or else if you do want that hammer noise and all the kind of the felt's hitting. do that kind of thing. Very, very nice, right? Yes, the glass piano is also really... There's one other piano I will put into the equation as a favorite for the felt category, and I'm going to solo do this right, hopefully. And that's inside of Contact. Noir has a really lovely, very different tone. Let's go over here to Noir. There's the Noir Felt and the Noir Pure. Pure is just the piano tone, but the Noir Felt has a... It's not the soft piano. It was very, very nice. And then the thing that's really fun with Noir is all the effects. You can turn on these really cool things that are doing additional things to the sound. So if we go over here to the particles and get something like the Follow Me Felts, and we have all these additional things happening, really magical. This is one of my favorite pianos of everything that I own personally. This one I end up using on my own tracks a lot, just because there are so many cool things. You have all these different sounds, mallets. The plucked is really cool. Right? We go over here and add reverb. There's the ambiences. Reverb. Let's say like replica. Let's do this reverb here. Really big sizes. Mystique is fun. So if you need Piano Plus, you know, it's a great place to go. So they're all great. There's similar things inside of Keyscape, of course. They made more than just that. You can get into the cinematic, and it's got that cool wash and stuff. Go to the tweak settings, make the release really long. And then what's fun with Keyscape is if you own Omnisphere, you can go over here and say Omnisphere. Call up the Keyscape library inside of Omnisphere, and now you have access to opening up. Let's see if we go over here and we say, show me the Keyscape library. And we go to the Felt Cinematic that was just playing. Here it is. And if you click the little box right here, you lose the interface of Keyscape, and now you have the interface of Omnisphere. So I could go to the A layer. I could go to the sonic extensions, and I have all the really cool things. I could add like Skyverb. So now you have all the tools of Omnisphere available for the pianos. And it's something that most of the other plugins don't give you because they just have the interface, what it can do. But inside of here. One other one I should point out that is really interesting and unique is, let's go like this, Piano Tech. From Modart, they have a lovely felt piano. I think that I had it in my maybe not. Let's see. Other instruments in demo. I think I played it. Isn't there a felt? I thought they got into a. Don't they have a felt piano for here? I can't remember. Instrument pack. Go to upright. Oh, there's felt. Maybe if I go to my acoustic piano, you know, I do have felt. They do have felt included. So, and they have that for both the Steinway, Bechstein. And what's fun here is this is synthesis based. It's a really interesting physical model based where you can get into so you can make pianos that are not pianos here. And they've got some really cool reverb presets and so forth as well. So you can get into, so there's so many different places to go for certain, I mean, piano is one of those things for since it's a keyboard that we're playing, right? There's the Norway, Norway, get it? There's Omnisphere. There's a soft piano from Labs, which if you go this route, it's counting on you to using outside effects. Even inside a Unify, Water Verb is my favorite reverb because it has this really cool chorusy. You know, that type of vibe. And we could add more effects after it because we have access to all the effects we own. So I could go to all effects, Valhalla. Just for little goose pimples for a minute, we could add just a little bit of feedback on the shimmer verb. Bring down the mix. You know, so you can get into all sorts of really cool. And this is on the free, excuse me, this is on the Free Labs piano, right? So you don't have to buy these more expensive libraries to get into this kind of stuff if you want. Oh, thank you. I just like to show the things that I know, and I know this kind of stuff pretty well. So, any other? Do you guys have questions for what we're doing here? Or you can play all four of them at once. Let's turn down this. Let's do this. Let's make Piano Tech more normal. I kind of took it out there. We could even go to something like Hand Pan. And let's make it dreamy. That's nice. Let's see. Let's go back to the felt type pianos for piano tech. And then just for fun, let's pan the soft piano over to the left and the piano tech to the right. So, doors are open for all sorts of cool possibilities. With Unify, it's all unified, so you get to play with everything. Oh, a bit of unicorda. Yeah, that'd be nice. Very nice. Yes, if you wanted to get a really cool tip, thank you, Ivar, for suggesting that. If you go to DX, to one of the keyboard banks, open up that bank and go to the cart button. There's a bank of 32. And I would probably like change my curvature for the FM. A little of that is nice. And if you want to make it brighter, you could go further in the tine. This is more your typical David Foster. Let's do this. Let's limit the max range. And the minimum, we'll bring it up. And then I'm going to put the Zen Verb. I really like the split. It's two different reverbs that are based on EQ placements. I'll show you what I'm doing. So without, right? But with Zenverb, I haven't touched the low EQ reverb, so that it's just sitting there as normal. But I've brought up the EQ and the time. See how you can accentuate that high end, and it doesn't bring up this. A lot of reverbs you don't have the ability to. That way I've got the tingle, and it like lasts longer this way. So you know, it's that kind of a thing. Well, he's still kind of the king of the FM acoustic piano kind of thing. So yeah, so yeah, yep. Now, oh, we're out of time. Darn it. Well, next week I'll be getting to show you a little bit more about what I'm working on. I will save it for next week. I can't. I'm so bad at giving away secrets, so I'm really happy I kept my mouth shut. But I'm working on some things that are really cool, and it's not just chill stuff. I promise, it's not chill. I love that vibe, but I also love all sorts of other stuff too. So make time. We always out of time. I know. We always run out of time. Well, there's stuff to show you, but I'll save it. I can do a much better presentation next week because we'll have even more ready on what I'm working on. I don't believe in time. Yes, I do. I do have a problem with time. But in this case is where I can show you this really quick. Inside of the murmurations library, if you get into this stuff, there's a really nice BPM key patch, Welcome Home, which has piano and then the murmurations. It's really nice. Isn't that nice? Sounds huge here. That's because of this element. I put jaws. Whenever you need like the like awesome big warm pad, just to, here's without it. It's cleaner that way, but add a little bit of this, it's just. Isn't that nice? It's a little strong, but you can turn it down. It's layer 4. There's also, so there's two. Let's see here. There's the Oberheim soundtrack. So there's these guys and the piano solo. And I should point out that piano. If you don't know, there's some nice pianos inside of UniFi. They're not super deeply sampled like some of these other libraries and so forth, but I'm really happy with them. Under key, there's right here, acoustic intimate. This is. It's MegaMagic. I added some reverb to the samples. So just sounds like that out of the box. And if you want to build your own cool little thing, go here to the pads, find mellow jaws. If you have the latest patches, you have the 1B version. Let's just say, we'll listen to a new UniFi layer. And now we have, and take it up an octave. So hold on Option and then go into here to the brightness and just bring this down a little bit. Bring down velocity. And then make it 24 dB and boom. Just bring down the keys tracking. And then the magic sauce to make it really work is a little plugin inside of UniFi that I just put on everything anymore, it seems. And that's the MDA loudness. Listen to the sound. It immediately focuses the low end. It's a mono summing of the low end. And you can overdo it, but if you find the right sweet spot, it's really nice. So here, I'll make one more add to this and then I'll give you guys a bonus patch. So let's do this. Let's add maybe some dreamy string ensemble. And let's do this. Let's use the EQ to get rid of the stringy. Boom. Gone. Gone. And then let's do this. Let's put a filter on everybody just because I want it to be in a certain frequency range. So filter max at the output. There we go. Maybe we want a little air. So this is where the next library that we're releasing is really handy. But we do have some inside of Unify that are like that. Now let's say add. And actually go over here to, I think, third. So the way I'm programming is kind of, I'm thinking like a 4 oscillator synthesizer, because it's 4 different sounds, like 4 different oscillators. But instead of it being that they all go to the same envelopes, they all have to go to the same effects, each one can be treated independently of each other, which is so powerful. And they don't share the same polyphony. So each one of these layers has 64 voices of polyphony for that layer. It's just so powerful. Okay, so what should we call this? We need a name. Peaches, I'm glad you found Unify too. Let's see who's now. Nice thing with this, I'm gonna do one more EQ. EQ. This is a trick I learned a long time ago. When you're trying to find something that you want to get rid of, crank the EQ. Like I want to get rid of a little bit of that. So now that it's really loud, I can de-accentuate it and shape it the way I want. And let's bring down the it's just a little bit. I can't super. I love all the names you guys are throwing at me. It's great. Let's see. There you go. Andrew's got close. Serene Sky. I like that. I like that. How about Serene Sky? Let's call it. Okay. Key. We'll make it a zKEY. Yay, Andrew. Someone who thinks like I do. Serene Sky. Serene Sky. I don't have to say key because I get the beginning. Peaches, I'm going to give you a link in a second and you'll just drag over and it will show up magically in your library. So we'll put this. I tend to not want to touch the Unify standard library. So we'll put this into the user library. Okay. Serene Sky. Yeah, let's just keep it at that. I was going to add something like, you know, there's all sorts of conflicts in the world. We'll keep it from going to be too political. Just, we all want Serenity, right? Let's see. Lovely bonus patch made during the November 11th live stream. Enjoy. Okay, so we go save as survey set. Come over here and say save. So now when I go to my user library, there it is, Serene Sky. Adjust my mix just a little bit more. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn everybody down just a little bit by holding down Option. And bring the piano back up. That's nice. Let's make it just a little bit more velocity since... Oh, I got it. So that's Option, Save. So what I'm going to do is I go over here and I make a folder that says Libraries, right? And then we go over here and we go, let's do this. The easiest way is to open up this folder, go Unify, Libraries, and then I'm going to copy the whole user library into the Libraries folder. And then I'm going to open this up and I'm going to delete everything but Patches. And then inside of Patches, I'm going to delete everything but Serene Sky. Okay. So there's just this one patch that's going to go into the user library of Unify. All I have to do now is compress this and give it a cute name. We'll call this key, actually zKEY. Da, 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 da. Serene Sky Guru. .guru means that all you guys are going to have to do is drag this over Unify. Say, do you want to install? Say yes. It will install it. And there you go. It's now there for you to play. Okay. So that's all you have to do. Let me tuck this into our Dropbox folder. Unified is, 1 second. Unified libraries. Oh, wait, this isn't Unified Libraries. It's a different folder. It's the freebies. We're in freebies. This is the user. Okay, open, put this in here. Right click, copy the link here. I'll put it into our chat, and I will also put it into the video description. Bonus Unify patch, zKEY, Serene, zKEY, and the link is in the video description now, okay? So that way you can have this patch in seconds added to your UniFi to enjoy and play. All together now. Yeah, and I'm not distorting. Look at that. Good, Skippy. Nice job. Okay, well, thank you for joining for the live stream. It's always fun to do these, and I appreciate you guys all being here. We have such a good time together. My gosh. We're going to end. I'll play just for a minute on my favorite patch lately is right here, the split. Where is it? The BLISS. United BLISS. That's my favorite thing to play lately when I need to just sit down and chill. And I think this would sound really pretty if we go to the user library, right click on Serene Skies and say load into a new Unify layer. Oh, and take it down an octave. Ooh, that's nice and pretty. Nice. And then we could go back to Unichill, go to the BPM drums. I put some different BPM drums in here. Let's say something like these groove mixes. Let's load this into a new Unify layer because I don't know how it's gonna fit, but yeah, so good stuff. That's the fun with Unify is all these libraries are available to be combined. So let's go to harp and let's go to like maybe one of the really cool BPM plucks like Heavenly Hotel. I was using this in the demo song at the beginnings. Load this into a Unify layer and now. And let's right click on the low note and say stop at C. So Now this harp, it's kind of an 8th note, and I wanted to do a 16th note, so I'm gonna show you a cool trick. Use a delay. Go here, delays, Omega delay. Set this to 16th and like to 8th note dopplet. And now I get some busier stuff that I want, and I don't want all the low end. I just really like the high tinkle stuff, so change the low pass to high pass. Now I get this added rhythmic element. And since it's kind of sitting there, not doing much, put a pump house after this, doing a nice little type of a little click right here. Go to presets to sidechain 3 and set it at about 65%. Now it's got some motion where it goes away a little bit. Uh-oh. You guys want another bonus patch? Okay, so this, to make this one work though, you're gonna have to own these libraries, okay? Because the samples don't come with the patches. So you have to own, let's see here. Bonus patch. This is for those of you, so many of you own so many of my libraries that I just wanna hug all of you. But this uses MegaMagic Guitars 3, right? Volume 3. Uses MegaMagic harp. And what else? It was, let's see, I think Chill libraries. Made at the very, very end of the live stream on November 11th because Skippy got carried away. Skippy got away. Always happens. I always think I'm going to like wrap up a live stream on time. Never happens. So we'll make this a zBPM split. And let's just call it Serenity. Call it World Serenity. World of Serenity. Save as. That's fun. Just wrote a little song with that. Okay, so this is World of Serenity. So I got to do this whole thing all over again for you guys. Oh my gosh. We'll put this into the user library as well because I don't know where else to put it. So Unify. Now I hear noise. Let me see where the noise is coming from. I think it's coming from Chow Matrix. Let's see. Yeah. So the way to fix that is to go to the degrade, or where is it at? Loss, degrade envelope. Bring up the envelope just a little bit, and it gets rid of the constant because now it's based on when there's signal, you hear the noise on the drums. But now it goes away. So it doesn't just sit there and be noisy to you guys, right? I don't want to do that, so. Yeah, I love plucky harpy kind of things. And this harp has all this like cool delay feeding and all that kind of stuff. All right, so let's get back to here. Libraries. Oh, I must love you guys a lot to do all this stuff, which is true. I do. Libraries. So we make another empty libraries folder. And we just copy the whole library over just to be safe, because as long as I put things into the places where it's supposed to go, there's no MIDI files or media needed. Just in the patches, just keep rolled Serenity. Again, this is one that's a bonus for those of you that have all the libraries. I love you guys so much, and thank you. So this is like that. And this is zBPM split. A world of Serenity. Guru.guru. Use that. So let me put that into our El Dropoboxo. Let's see, I did the same thing I did. Okay, I'm so predictable. You are so predictable, Skippy. Okay, Unify libraries to the user bonus. So we'll put this in here. I will say copy the link. Here it is. Boom. Now you guys can do cool Peter Gabriel vibey world. Chill. This is the bonus. Unify plus Unify libraries patch BRARAIES. I can't spell LABRARIES. Patch. zBPM split. World of Serenity, which we all could use more of. There, it's in the video description as well for those of you watching later after this has aired, so that you can get this patch as well. That's lovely. I love that. Now, if you wanted to take this farther, let me just show you something you could do. I would say you could find solo to find the piano. Let's see. I think it's in here, right? The Serene Sky that we made as the bonus earlier. So go to the piano, right click and hit C. So that way it doesn't play in the low end. And I don't think I want Jaws to play down here either. These are just options if you want to do this. This way it's cleaner, because I have a bass. And maybe we'll shorten the release on the bass. So now it's more like production ready because you don't have the piano. You know, get the piano out of the left hand so now you can play bass parts. So that kind of a vibe just makes it a little bit cleaner if you want to go that way. But it's really, really fun just the way it is too. So you can... Now the bass and the piano are playing in sync. Anyway, okay. Enjoy. Thank you. Good. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I can't believe 88 of you still hanging on to like 2 hours later. You guys are crazy. But thank you. I appreciate it. So let's do our shout outs. If you're new here at the very end, we love to say shout outs to realize we're all in the world and we're all together loving sound together. So wherever you are in the world, give us a shout out. And thank you for joining. It's always fun to see you all. Shout out from Portland, Oregon. Look at that. Portland, Cologne, the Netherlands, Poland. I mean, it's crazy. Thank you. New Zealand, great. I want to come to actually a friend of mine. His kid is going to school in New Zealand right now. She just posted some photos from New Zealand, and it's beautiful. So. Kasaka-san in Japan. Hey Siri, what time is it in Tokyo, Japan? 6:59 a.m. You get up at 5 in the morning to watch the videos in Japan. That's amazing. Because Kasaka-san is here every week. Domo. Germany. Hello, Frank. Good to see you, my friend. You just keep us hanging on. The Netherlands. I'll be in at Super Booth in Germany in next year. Can't wait to see everybody that's in Europe. South Africa. Oh, Sonic Oasis. We got South Africa today. How awesome. That's awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining. Good to see you all. We will be back next week for another fun time. I can show you some things that I'm working on that are really, really cool. I'm very excited. I'm working like crazy. I'm actually working on 2 libraries at once. And so shout out to Taylor, wherever he is. There he is popping his post up for, he does all of our tech supports. If you have tech support questions, Taylor or myself, but mostly Taylor is here to help you out. And he's editing away like crazy on samples for one library while I'm editing like crazy on samples and grooves and all sorts of stuff for another library. Really exciting. Can't wait to show you what we're doing, but I can't show you yet. So you have to come back. Okay. So we will see you next week for another fun hang. And thank you for joining us, and be creative. If you need inspiring patches, you know where to go, and we'll see you soon. Okay. Thanks everybody. Much appreciated. Hands together, head bowed. See you later.